Good afternoon. The team is confirmed by Jesus Martinez, Heriberto Coronado, Valeria Ibarra, Rafael Ramirez, and Francisco Montalvo. Your team is of the point of balance. 1. Now the elements of variables then intervene the point of equilibrium. 2. Construct a mathematical model to find the break-even point, the units and weight. 3. Establish the algebraic representation of the model infinity difference equations. 4. Use the Excel spreadsheet to view and solve break-even problems. 5. Make an estimate of the break-even point to evaluate the current operation of business and alternately increase in productive capacity and the operation of the business over time. 6. Make a comparative analysis of the data and the results obtained in the problem.
In the operation of a business, you can evaluate the profiles, their gain or losses. The break-even point is the operational, production, and sales level of a company in which you have neither profit nor losses. In the other words, the revenues are equal to the expense. It is important to know the break-even point because if you operate below it, you have losses, and if you operate from above, you gain. The point of equilibrium is also known as cost-volume analysis. The calculation of the break-even point is very useful when it is desired to evaluate alternatives to increase productive capacity of change in the price or cost of some products. In the same way that the utilities must be evaluated, the break-even point allows knowing not only the range in which is they operating, or of gains or losses, but also to know to what relative distance of the condition is of a company, in order to be able to measure the risk of the moving from a profit statement a loss statement.
Let's now take a look at the steps to get the break-even point. Step 1. Define cost. First, we must define our cost. It is considered usual cost for all expenditures, including administrative expense and sales, but excluding financial expense and taxes. Method of total cost. Step 2. Classify cost, variable cost, and fixed cost. Once you have determined the cost, we will use to find the break-even. We do to classify or divide them into variable cost and fixed cost. Variable costs are costs that vary with changes in activity levels, are related to the number of sold units, production volume, or number of services performed. Examples of variable costs are the costs incurred in raw material, fuel, hourly wage. Fixed costs. They are costs that are not affected by changes in activity levels. Example of fixed costs are rent, depreciation, insurance. Step 3. Find unit variable cost. In the next step, it is to find the variable cost unit, which is obtained by dividing total variable cost between the number of units processed and sold. Step 4. Apply formula break-even. The result of the formula is in physical units. If we find the break-even in monetary units, we simply multiply the result by the selling price.
5. Check results. Once the break-even point I found, we check the result through the environment or experiment. 6. Analysis break-even. And finally, once the break-even point if found and check the results track statement, we're sure to analyze, for example, to know how much we need to sell break-even or know how much we sell to generate utility. In conclusion, we can see that it is interesting to use this technique in determination of income levels, as well as the volume required, which satisfies the planning inspection considered in the financial lectures. Using the technique of equilibrium in computational model allows to perform the sensitivity analysis in a simple way. Since it's possible, it involves several variables and the managed range of alternatives to allow the manage of finance companies to establish strategies with no opportunity and evaluate the effect of the volume versus price in the process.
Example of finding and analyzing the equilibrium point. Let's look at a simple example of how to find and analyze the equilibrium point. A company dedicated to the commercialization of shares sells shares at a price of $40. The cost of each share is $24. A sales commission of $2 is paid, and fixed cost, rent, salaries, utilities, etc. amount to $3,500. What is the break-even sales unit and dollars? And how much would profit if 800 shares were sold? Finding the equilibrium point. PVU, unit sales price, equal 40. CVU, unit variable cost, equal 24 plus 2 equal 26. CF, fixed cost, equal 3,500. Applying the formula, PE equilibrium point equals CF fixed cost divided PVU unit sales price minus CVU unit variable cost. Replacing PE equilibrium point equal 3,500 divided 40 minus 26. PE equilibrium point equal 250 units. Equilibrium point in monetary units equal 250 multiplied 40 equal $10,000. Inquiring sales PVU unit sales price multiply Q units 40 multiply 250 equal 10,000. CV variable cost CVU unit variable cost multiply Q units 26 multiply 250 equal 6,500. CF fixed cost 3,500. Net profit equal $0. Conclusions. The equilibrium point is 250 units. You need to sell 250 shares for revenue equal to the cost. From selling 251 shares, newly starting will generate profits, while sales of shares 249 or fewer mean lost.
Hello, my name is Rafael Ramirez and I will explain option B, in which we will calculate the profit that we will obtain if the share sales increased to 800 units. Sales are equal to price of sales per unit sold 40 pesos times 800 units, which equals to 32,000 pesos minus the variable costs, which are variable cost per unit sold 26 pesos times 800 units, which equals to 28,800 pesos minus the fixed costs, which are 3,500 pesos. This will give us a profit of 7,700 pesos. Conclusion: if we sold 250 shares, revenue will equal cost, and therefore we will have no profit or loss. In the other hand, if we sold 800 shares, we will generate a profit of 7,700 pesos. It is important to know the break-even point or point of equilibrium in order to have a reference point for profits or losses that a business can have.